Northrup, and I'm here with Helen Kim of YourMoneyRelationship.com. She is a money relationship coach. Is that how you would describe yourself?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, great.
Perfect. Perfect.
Great. And Helen and I actually met very serendipitously in line at one of Jen Groover's book signings.
That's right.
And I recognized her, I think, from Twitter. And I was like, I know you from your face.
Social media.
Social media. And then it turns out, we both live here in Manhattan. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's recently this exciting thing that's happened to you with Hay House. So will you tell people what you're up to with Hay House?
Sure. I just launched a radio show on HayHouseRadio.com. And this is a result as of winning the Movers and Shakers.
Yay!
Movers and Shakers Conference Workshop. Yeah. So I went to the first one in New York City, and that was in December of last year, and they gave me this great opportunity.
So great. And so you're doing, how long will your radio show be running?
We're going to go through November 23rd, and then we'll see what happens after that.
That's great. So talk a little bit about what do you talk about on the show? What kind of issues can you help people deal with?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I sat down to put the series together, I think a lot of people don't realize there's so many facets to your relationship with money. So the first one was an intro, but for instance, next week we're going to be covering shame and money, which is something people are ashamed to talk about shame, but I think it's so important. So I'm bringing on
a great topic. Way to just dive right in there.
Exactly. I think just go to the heart of it.
Yeah.
Really, why?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know. I think we all inherently know when we're being truthful, or I love that Pema Chodron quote, never resist the inclination to bolt. We know when we're not dealing with, whatever it might be, but in my case, since I deal with money, when we're not dealing with money.
Right.
So I say just, stay connected to your money. But yeah, so different facets are being covered on the show. As I said, shame, and I have John Bradshaw coming on, who's like the expert on shame. Byron Katie will be joining me.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Great.
because I think, we're going to be looking at our thought beliefs, whether they're true, absolutely true, her questions.
Right.
And Julie Morgenstern is going to come on, because we're going to talk about, the time-energy paradigm, time-energy money paradigm. So how do we create more time and energy to create the money?
So listening to every episode. So I'm like, noted.
It's so fun.
And
it's a lot of fun.
Tuesdays at what time?
Oh, it's Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so you just listen at HayHouseRadio.com, so definitely check that out.
Yeah.
And when you work with people one-on-one, right?
I do, although less so.
Of
less
course,
so,
sure.
yes.
Yeah,
but
things are blown up.
Right.
There's always a little less time for that. But say somebody was to come to you who was, maybe in her early 30s, a woman who had a good income, but, had a tendency to spend everything that she gets in and maybe ended up with some consumer debt. Are there some specific steps that where do you start with people, or where do you go?
So, I like to start where the people are. So if that's what's bringing her in, right away I just heard triggers, so we want to explore what has been triggering her to spend, overspend in this case is what it sounds like. And I say, or Shakespeare said, the past is prologue. So we start there, but we don't stay there. We just we go to the past, because we all learned, I say, about money by osmosis. We just learn by watching what our parents or our guardians said and did with money. So that will inform us as we're growing up as to, how we are to be with money. And unless we're aware of them, we tend to get triggered. And so, for instance, in this case, maybe, just loose examples, maybe she didn't get enough attention. So, over shopping tends to be a way people sort of misuse their funds. She needs attention, so she goes shopping because she becomes friends with the store associates and she leads the company. She loves the attention. So it really depends on what the triggers are. So we need to investigate that.
Got it.
Yeah.
So people come to you when they're looking to deal with debt, I would imagine. When they're looking to, what about somebody who just wants to look into financial planning and stuff like that? I mean, obviously, I know you're not a financial planner, so for some people, they might be confused. What's the difference between a coach and a financial planner, and who do you need on your team, and all that stuff?
Right. I don't actually deal with, the finances. Okay, now we need to allocate X amount to your 401k. I don't get so much into that. I just use some very basic principles, like, okay, do you know where your numbers are going? Do you know how much is coming in and how much is going out?
Yep.
And most people don't.
Most people don't.
Right. So we just start with that, and that alone, I think, we're smart people.
Yep.
We'll start saying, wait a second. And then I also ask people to look at their time, energy, money factor.
Okay.
Because so many issues that come up about money also have a big amount of it has to do with your time and energy, how you're allocating that. I mean, because those are two other commodities that we don't talk about or think about enough.
Yeah.
So, so we come at it from there, as well as so we look at it from the practical, and then we also look at exploring the internal.
Right. For you, where did this come from out of your own life? Because I mean, how do you end up as a money coach or money relationship coach?
We teach what we need to learn.
Right.
You knew that. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I know Helen a little.
It's interesting when I look back. My former career was as a musician, and I wasn't a starving artist, but I think my big, what I call financial awakening, came when a few years ago. I was writing down my whole salary history, since the time I had started working, and I was just sort of quietly devastated that it had been the same for over 10 years. And so, that's kind of a form of it is a form of under-earning, which I later learned, because I thought, okay, I've got to investigate this. I'm tired of this, and, it was just the last straw for me, over the course of a number of years of having more, month than money at the end of the month, that expression?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So it really just came from your own
journey, really. Yeah. And then seeing how powerful it is to start with money sort of as a portal into like your consciousness, because you have to know then, what are my values? What is this money being used for?
Yeah.
How do I actually want to be spending my time and energy making the money?
Right. And it's really such a energetic Rorschach for values and for what we believe in and what we truly put our attention on, because it's where we vote with our dollars.
Yep.
So that's such a
beautifully
profound.
Said.
Well, it's profound work working with money. I love. I mean, in my business, so much comes up for people around their money, and I always know that it's really deep, and it's emotional, and it's energetic, and it's historical and psychological and all of that stuff. So I commend you for doing that work, because it's not easy to deal with people and their money.
Yeah. Well, I find it really gratifying myself, but I was going to say, it's also nothing like having your own business to know, have your money issues come up right away.
Right.
And so it's a great vehicle.
Yeah, when the buck really literally stops with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you working on right now? You've got the show going on, and I'm sure you're really excited about that, and that's taken a lot of work to get.
That's great. I love the show. Right. So that's going on, and I have a couple of programs that we're starting up.
Oh, great.
Yeah, some group programs that are, for the most part, all by phone. I haven't started setting up, live workshops yet. I'd love to move into that eventually. I'm going, and speaking.
Yeah.
For other people who are producing workshops, but
can you tell people what kind of courses you have available that are coming up?
Sure. Well, I have this sort of ongoing 10-week intensive that's run by me, and that's where we cover everything, and they tend to be small groups, all by phone. We start with, again, the past, and then move forward, learning about everything from what I call financial forgiveness to shame, just really dealing with all the things that come up and putting it all out there on the plate for us to see. And then also working on the practical side of, tracking and looking at our time, energy, money. And then I also have a training program that I'm really excited about. Because I can't do this work by myself. So a lot of coaches who I've worked with have said, the money piece is always missing from my work with my clients. So I would love to know more about this and incorporate this. So, and I also love teaching business development. Yeah. So I've added that into the training course, and that's a 10-month. Yeah, that's a 10-month course, and we already have a couple of people doing it. So I'm so psyched about that. I love teaching.
Yeah. So that's for people who want to become a money coach.
Right, a money coach.
Incorporate it into what they're already doing.
Exactly.
Oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know you did that.
Oh, well, it just started.
Okay. This is really good stuff, and that can all be found. your blog and all your offerings and everything at yourmoneyrelationship.com.
I'm not so great about my blog right now, so so
for past entries, you can
Yeah.
find it there. Okay, good.
Right.
And so 2 questions I always ask everybody. The first one is, what are you afraid of in your life that you're doing anyway?
That's a great question. What am I afraid of that I'm doing anyway? Just speaking up when I hear, it's working with clients. Sometimes, you want, oh gosh, should I say that? Shouldn't I? And I'm trying not to do that because I don't think it serves the client. And that's somewhat scary for me because I know it's not going to be pleasant many times. It's not always pleasant stuff. I mean, I'm not just there to cheerlead. I am ultimately a cheerleader, but, some people have to hear the truth. So I think that's something that I've had to, because you can tell I'm Asian. I was brought up to be very, nice, polite, and it's not, so I've had to overcome that.
Yeah, the fear of telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's a juicy one.
Not only, you're right, so it starts, of course, with me, but then to be able to do it in a very, in a way that serves the client, too.
Yeah, exactly. How can you do it with grace and wisdom?
In a constructive way, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What do you love about your life?
What I love about my life, I just feel like my life keeps on expanding as opportunities that come, not just, yes, they might come through business, but it just opens me up to what's possible. I feel it myself that I've just grown so much in the last year. Building a business, it's made me have to confront a lot of difficult things.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you really love the process of growth.
I love the process of growth.
Yeah.
Yes. As difficult as it is.
So do I. That's kind of like why we're here. Yeah.
You make it look so easy.
Oh, well. Thank you.
You really do.
It's because of the dimples. You make it always look like you're having fun. So thank you for coming on this show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.